Now, our next presenter has a rather unusual job. His job is to be an expert. And the weird thing is, he is an expert at kind of most things. So we're going to give a demonstration tonight. Can we have somebody call out a topic, just any topic? Maple syrup. That's a good one. Maple syrup? All right. He is an expert at maple syrup. Please put your hands together for Steve Kimmens.
Hi guys. Yes, I am an expert in maple syrup. Thank you very much for that, sir. Now, the first thing to bear in mind with maple syrup is it causes a lot of waste. That's an actual fact. You could write that one down and take that away with you. We all know that Steve Jobs said that with PowerPoint presentations, it demonstrates you don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. You have to consider how maple syrup can help you in a relationship, how it can bring two bodies together in a sticky, touching way. It's not always about toast. It's not always about fruit. These are the first 500 dates that I went on and the success ratio that I had. As you can see, initially, it didn't work out very well, but then I introduced maple syrup into the equation. And fuck me, it worked really well, ladies. Now, this girl was a particular fan of maple syrup. I like to call her Heather number 1. She was a fantastic girl. Wonderful eyes. Like, I've never seen eyes like it before. Yes, now, the thing with Heather number 1, she was a bit of the jealous type. And, you know, you take her out to meet your friends, and she'd get a bit stabby. So, there wasn't just maple syrup between us and Heather. She liked to do a bit of role play. She did like my magic wand, sir. As do you, sir. I remember you from the other night. Give him a round of applause. He's got a very small magic wand. I know. Now, one of the things with maple syrup, even if you've got a tiny little magic wand, it can still try and bring a smile to your face. Because that's what it's all about in the end. It's about the happiness equation that we all have. Jesus understood this. One of the things that's missing from the Bible is that he split the loaves, shared the fish, and pasted it all with maple syrup. Another fact for you to take home with you. Mine is bigger. Another fact. I'm pretty impressed with myself for putting this all together. Now, with maple syrup, you might be sitting there thinking, well, I'm still not convinced, Steve, because surely it's just a sugar rush. What could that really do for me? I'm telling you, when a girl looks at your cock like that, you know that maple syrup makes a difference. Okay? Those are the eyes of amazement, ladies. We've all been there, and it can happen to you. Now, I know the gentlemen in the room are sitting there questioning, really? Really? Could that be me? Yes, gentlemen, it could really be you. Just a quick show of hands. Could everyone put their hand up if they've seen a penis? Brilliant. Now, as you might see from this look on the expression of this dog, 50% of those penises aren't real. Okay? They won't be real in the future. They might be real right now. So I think we need to take a step back and consider, I know there's a lot of people in this room, and, you know, sometimes people get lonely. Now, that's where maple syrup can make a big difference. Because it's a friend for you and a friend for your best friends. Now, I like to think of these as my guru guides. When I'm looking for a leader who's going to listen to me when I've got, you know, things on my chest, you know, I was having a bad day, my mum died, and I don't want a leader to shove the door in my face. I want them to hear, you know, what happened to me. Then they're the people who will listen. They're not just going to burn my hopes and dreams in an ashtray with a flower. This was one of the gifts that I got from one of my 500 dates that I went on. It was an interesting gift, but what you might not realise in that dressing is that it's covered in maple syrup. And that's what actually gives it the sweetness. And this is what happens if you steal maple syrup from a baby. okay? You will remove their hopes and dreams simply like that, okay? It's not something that you want to take from our children or our children's children. We need to consider what will happen into the future. Unfortunately, maple syrup is shit in different containers because it's sticky. It's actually one of the reasons why there are lots of containers in massive refills, which we saw at the beginning of this presentation. It's also the underlying reason why we're all going to be ruled by Terminators one day. Because it will slowly rot our brains and mean that we'll believe useless facts that aren't simply true. It's also the thing that they melted Arnold Schwarzenegger in at the end of Terminator 2. Much like an espresso machine. You would think that maple syrup doesn't have those qualities, but if you were to meet someone who had maple syrup every single day of their lives, they'd have a large cock and no teeth. And on that bombshell, I'll leave it with you.